and the only difference is the 25 liters per minute. So all we're going to do is copy this grouping. We're going to copy S array 1, and we're just going to say, we're going to call it 2. And if you look at the data sheet now,
data sheet,
it's the same as the first one. So we want to just change the values. And instead of 5, it's going to be 25 LPM. And within the outlet flow, we're just going to change that value from 5 to 25. So the outlet flow object now has a new value. Go back to our data sheet, and now we have 5 LPM, and then we have 25 LPM. And then we're going to create a third one, which is going to be 50 and 100. So we're going to copy the second one and create a third secondary array. Go back to our data sheet and modify the outlet flow parameter from 25 to 100, as well as change the label.
Data sheet.
So now you have 5, 25, and 100. So all 3 of those have been created. Now we want to work on the second one. So the first grouping in the second subtest would be 100, 5, and then this new range for the outlet pressure. So we do this by just copying the primary array. So we're going to add a second primary array called 2. And you look at your data sheet.
Data sheet.
So instead of 3, now we have 6 subtests total. But they're identical right now to the first 3. So the first 3 and the second 3 are identical. But what we want to do is we want to change the inlet pressure from 50 to 100, and we also want to change the range here for the outlet pressure. So the first thing we'll do is change the inlet pressure to 100. Go to the description, and we'll change that to 100 PSIG, and also change the range. Again, the range is going to be 1.5 to 2 inches of water. So it's going to be 1.5 to 2.0 inches of water. And we can actually just copy that. Look at our data sheet, and the fourth subtest is going to be 1.5 to 2 inches, and the inlet pressure is 100. So now we're going to go into the parameter and change the inlet pressure to 100. And then change on the outlet pressure, we're going to change that to 1.5 and 2.0. And we're just going to do this for the rest of them. So for the secondary array, we're going to do that as well. So that's going to be 1.5 and 2.0 while at 100. Inlet pressure is going to be 100, and the outlet pressure is going to be 1.5 and 2.0. And then for the third one, it's going to be 1.5, 2.0, and 100. Inlet pressure is going to be 100. Outlet pressure 1.5 and 2.0. And we're going to look at the data sheet. And as you can see, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 2 inches, 2 inches, and 2 inches, and then 100 PSIG for all of them. So now we have a nice test array. And so we've added the second one and the third one. So the next step is to add some test sequences, or our test steps. The first step is to turn switch 1 on, or set S1 equals to true. Then we're going to add, or we're going to turn on PID 11, and we're going to set that to 50 PSIG. And then we're going to turn on the vacuum pump, which is S2. So we're going to turn that on. And we're going to then set PID 3_2 to 5, and then 25, and then 100. So the first thing to do is go back into our tree view, and we're going to go into our switches, and we're going to copy the name of switch 1, and we're going to insert it into our test sequence. So we're going to click on the outlet pressure, and as you can see, we've already added the instruction install part. And we're just going to paste switch 1 dot value equals true. So now we're going to turn that on. Now, you'll notice that this is all in array format. So what we're going to do is we're going to circle through, or loop through, first the secondary array and then the primary array. So we're going to loop through 50 PSIG at 5, 25, and 100 liters per minute, and then we're going to loop through 100 PSIG at 5, 25, and 100. So what we're going to use for looping is a built-in function of Hiatronic Development Suite. There's something called a loop. and we're just gonna click on that from the pull down menu from P arrays. So P arrays, and then you just select loop, and you go back into the macro, and then you just paste that loop. Now I'll code that you want looped. You just type right here. So the first thing we want to do within that loop is we want to set PID 1_1 to 50 and 100. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to set it equal to that parameter inlet pressure. So this is really simple. Actually, we're going to copy PID 1, copy that, paste it, dot, point set, and then put parentheses, use last voltage, we'll set that to true, enable the PID, set that to true, and then we're going to set the set point for that PID, so we're going to set it equal to and then just open up your first array, and we're going to set it to inlet pressure, the inlet pressure parameter. So we're going to copy that name, go back into our macro, and just paste inlet pressure.